Howdy, Aggies. Welcome into another episode of Take 5, brought to you by TexAgs and United. Today, we are sitting down with the captain, a Maroon Goon himself, Mr. Trey Zuhn III. We're going to throw 5 different topics at you, Trey. The first one is, just tell me about your Aggie family, right? Because I remember when you were being recruited here that you had some ties to Texas A&M despite being a kid from Colorado.
Right. Yeah, so I basically grew up an Aggie, loving A&M, wanting to play in Kyle Field. That's always been my dream because both my parents went there, my aunts went there, my grandma went there, so I'm a third-generation Aggie.
Awesome.
And my grandpa was a professor here, so
Wow.
yeah, they lived in town, so growing up, this was basically a second home to me because I'd always be here visiting grandparents or extended family.
Super cool. What are your earliest memories of Texas A&M and College Station?
Oh. Well, my earliest memories of like A&M would definitely be when I was young, just on Saturdays in Colorado. My dad would put on A&M games every single Saturday, and we'd be sitting there eating wings from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Nice.
And just watching A&M, and that was just like, one day I want to play on Kyle Field. So it's kind of been a dream come true.
Do you have like a first favorite player, first Aggie player you remember watching? Because like you go way back.
Yeah. I remember watching, Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans, Myles Garrett. I remember watching Myles Garrett and just being like, at that time I was playing some defense, so I was, thinking that's cool. But thinking about blocking him, I was like, wow, that's a dude right there. So, yeah.
So how do your defensive skills compare to Myles, and take me through the mindset of maybe having to block a guy like that at the next level?
Right, yeah, that's definitely a big step going from high school to seeing guys like Myles Garrett. That's definitely kind of intimidating. Sure. So it was really just, I remember thinking, am I good enough to play for A&M? Am I good enough to be one of these guys? So it's kind of been cool, just putting in the work and seeing myself grow and becoming more and more confident in myself on the field.
Not only have you been good enough to play for Texas A&M, and that bleeds right into the next topic, but you've been really, really good for Texas A&M. You've got a C on your jersey. So this being your last season at Texas A&M, how much, if at all, do you think back about your legacy and your contributions that you're going to leave behind, and what you've done to the place done for a place that has so many ties back to your family? What does all of that mean to you?
I mean, it means everything because, like I said, I've been an Aggie since as long as I can remember. So being here for 5 years and, I've worked every single day, and I've wanted to, be the best I could for A&M and for the team. So it's really just cool being honored by the rest of my teammates as being selected as a captain. It's kind of cool to see, some of that work pay off. And, we're not finished yet. We're 9-0, but it's cool being where we're at this season because there's something we could do here at A&M that, hasn't been done in a really long time. So
I want to talk a little bit more about you being named a captain because it's your second year wearing a C, and this is my third topic. So take me through that moment when you found out, and also the duty and the responsibility that comes with being that guy that's picked by your peers to lead the team.
Right. Even if I wasn't named captain, I think I would still do the same things that I've been doing because I care so much about this team and about this university that I want us to be our best. So I don't expect anything, and I don't allow anything less than the standard. So I don't think much would change if I wasn't a captain, but it's just, like I said before, an honor to be recognized by my teammates for being that guy.
That's super cool. Fourth topic now. What's Trey Zuhn like away from the field, right? You've got that nasty, mean mentality when you're between the lines. So what are you like away from football, and how do you like to spend what little free time you get? Because you guys are in season, chasing some big dreams. I can't imagine there's much downtime.
Right, yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm pretty boring outside of football and outside of, A&M because if I'm not watching film or if I'm not, doing homework or something, I'm really just kind of relaxing, just watching TV. I don't really like fishing's fine, shooting guns is fine, but I'm kind of a introverted person. I kind of like my time just to relax on the couch and just kind of unwind.
Are you like watching TV shows? You watching movies? What do you do when you're just chilling at home?
A little bit of both. I enjoy a good movie, but I also like TV shows like the classics. Like Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders, Breaking Bad, like those shows.
Anything you're watching right now?
I'm actually in between shows right now, so I need to find something new. If you have
Alright.
any recommendations.
I don't have any, but we'll ask YouTube to the comments to
All
drop
right,
some
perfect. Yeah,
recommendations
I'll be
for
looking.
Trey. Last topic for you, Trey. We'll let you get out of here. Last week, Coach Elko went on the McAfee show, and they started talking about the Kyle Field entrance, right? The band, the cadence, the fireworks, the fire, the power, obviously. What's a player's perspective like coming out of the tunnel and seeing the home of the 12th man and over 100,000 cheering you on? What is that like?
I mean, it's just surreal, and it never gets old. Just because I still get goosebumps to this day every single time I hear the drums start and power start and running out in front of, like you said, 110,000 people and 110,000 Aggies in the 12th man. It's just a surreal feeling, and there's nothing like it. And I'm definitely gonna miss it when I'm gone.
You think it's going to hit a little bit harder this Saturday, knowing you guys have been away for so long?
Definitely, and being the last SEC game that I'll play in Kyle Field, it's gonna. I'm not a very sentimental guy, but it's definitely been hitting me a little bit like, wow, it's almost over. I'm not going to take a single day of practice and not a single game, it's not a single play for granted.
Have you been taking a little bit more of a step back and allowing yourself to appreciate and remember all of those moments as you kind of near the end of your college career?
Yeah, because sometimes I felt myself kind of just getting caught up in how fast things go sometimes and not
Yeah.
really taking a minute to like kind of step back and appreciate like, wow, I get to play in Kyle Field in front of the best fan base, in front of the 12th man,
Yeah.
every single week. There's no better feeling.
Well, dude, speaking for myself and Aggies era, we're not going to take it for granted. We're going to appreciate you out there on the field for every single snap. And, of course, appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with us real quick. And, of course, thanks to all of you guys out there for tuning into this episode of Take 5.